Alrighty, let's try this again. See if it works. I'm not having good luck with Periscope right now. I just literally tried for like this whole time I've been trying to get it back on. It was saying connection is too poor. So I don't know if it's going to jump out at me again, if it's going to do that again or not. Hi everyone, if you're just joining me, this is part 2 of a Periscope I was just trying to do and it kept cutting out on me, so I have no idea if this is going to work. We'll just try it. If it doesn't work, then I'll be back on later today. Hello! So just quick recap, what I had started saying on the other one was that I do, my name's Kathy Olson and my business is Love Inspired, and we create custom websites and platforms for growing business owners. So the thing that I was trying to say before when it was cutting out on me was that I finally made peace with template websites. And so I finally made, I used to have this really a fear of them, not a fear, but just I used to think that they all were crappy and that no one needs a template and everyone needs custom design. And so I've just come to a different place now and I kind of wanted to explain it. So last night I'm trying to get through this fast because I feel like Periscope's going to break on me again. Can you guys hear me okay? Is everything going through now? Is my connection okay? I tried to get on and it kept saying connection's too poor. So I feel like it's going to, okay, good. Hearts are happening. Okay. Awesome. Okay, good. Perfect. Cool. Okay. So last night, my husband and I were watching TV, and I saw a commercial for Wix. And if you guys haven't heard of Wix before, it's Wix.com. And people, good, make a template. I know, I'm not making templates. That's definitely not the way I'm going. You're funny. But yeah, the thing is, I feel like there's some amazing templates out there right now, and it's definitely not something that I feel strongly that our business is. I'm not called to do that. I'm not called to do templates. I'm called to be to do something to help people that don't want to do it themselves. So that's kind of where that comes in. But I have 3 ways. Wix is OZ. Yeah, so the thing is, I was watching the commercial and I was watching Wix, and people dog on Wix all day long, especially website designers, but not even just people that have used Wix or other people, and they're constantly going, oh, Wix isn't professional, this and that, whatever, and I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the designs and I'm like, you know what, they're really good. The designs are really awesome. And I started thinking, you know what, things have changed, and you just can't be a stick in the mud. And exactly, you can't be a stick in the mud and say, oh, this is all bad, this is always bad, and go, whatever, and get mad about it. But the thing is, Wix will be perfect for a lot of people. And so it's not about my pride anymore, right? So I'm not trying to say go with Wix. I'm just kind of saying, open up your mind, right? And I'm starting to think, okay, you know what? Maybe some people just need Wix. Maybe there's, not everyone in this whole world needs custom website design. Not everybody needs WordPress. Not everybody needs Squarespace or whatever. I used to be very against Squarespace. I mean, all these things. And so things are getting better. Things are growing. Things are different. And so I have 3 reasons why I am finally I have peace with these things, right? Yeah, exactly. So I have peace with this because my number one point is why I have peace with template websites, is that they've gotten a lot better. I mean, oh my gosh, they've changed so much, and they're constantly changing and they're constantly getting better. And whenever there's an issue, it used to be before, template sites were all Flash, and then they go, okay, well, we're not gonna be Flash anymore, and then they became mobile, or there's all these things they are not SEO friendly, or this and this and that, and then they became SEO friendly. So it's all these objections that people have, they're starting to fall away from templates, right? And they're beginning to become a really good option for people. And so it's I can't just keep ignoring that and saying, oh no, they're bad for everybody, because that's not really true, right? If I'm being honest, that's totally not true. And so I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable in my design hood to say that some people need template. It's totally okay, right? Exactly, they're adapting to the needs. And so you can't be a stick in the mud and say, oh, all templates are bad, this and that. It's just not true, right? You're not being honest if you really look into what templates do, right? So number 1, they've gotten a lot better than they used to be, and I can't ignore that. I have to pay attention to that. And number 2, they might all be all that someone needs. They might be the perfect solution for a company. There's a lot of companies that just need a means to end. They just need a website, or they just need a functioning website, or they just need a really pretty website. But it doesn't have to be super authentic. Doesn't have to be very special. It's fine. It's totally okay, and people will see it. And they'll go, you know what, this is super professional, and I will book these people, and I'll sell these things. That's true, right? I can't like sit there and say, you know, that those websites don't look good and that they don't function well, because they do. Yes, I'm a website designer. I design custom websites, and so that's kind of why this is very against, you know, what a lot of custom website designers think. But that honestly, that might be all that they need. I'm sorry, I'm getting so excited, I'm like tripping on my words. But that's the thing, like sometimes I talk to clients and I'll go, you know what, a template's okay for you, because they're not in that space if they're just starting out, or maybe even if they're just, it's like their second or third website, that's fine, right? And so that might all be all that they need is a template website. That's number 2. Number 3, the most important thing, this is why I don't do scopes in the morning, because my throat's all, number 3 is that they are not my clients. So, no, I don't use Dreamweaver. We do all custom, from scratch. So number 3 is they are not, I would love to see some of the sites you've designed. Yeah, I can send you an email with tons of them. Well, you can see them on my site too. But number 3 is they aren't my clients. So like that's the thing, like, and that's the most important thing, and that's the thing that all the other website designers that are crying about websites, they need to understand, is that the people that are looking for templates are not your clients. They are people that are looking to DIY. Right? They're people that want to do it themselves, either if they don't have the money to, or they're just being, you know, like bootstrappy, which I totally get because I'm the same way. They just are not, they're not going to be my clients. They don't need custom design, right? They just need something quickly. They need something up. They need something flexible. They need to know what they're doing. Maybe they want to design it themselves, right? Like maybe these are designers that want to design it themselves, but they just don't know code, right? So those are not my clients. And I'm not going to try to get into that space because those are not my clients. I believe in custom design, and I believe in the power of custom design, and I know what it can do for people. So I never am going to create templates. Exactly. I'm never going to create templates. That's never going to be something that I do and fall into. It's kind of just like a little bit of a money trap, you know. Such a good concept across. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. But I've come to peace with that because I started thinking about it. Like I'm looking at the crown molding in my house, right? And I'm thinking, you know, like I could have probably done the crown molding in our house. Like I could have figured it out. I could have DIY'd it. I could have rented a miter saw and like learned how to do it. You know, I could have done that. Like I could have figured out how to do it. But oh my gosh, like no. I saw what people had to go through. I saw what the professionals had to do to make this crown molding work in these weird places. And I'm like, dude, that's an art. Like, I'm so glad I didn't try to do that because that would have been a huge headache. So I don't want to do that myself. Like, there's things that I could do, and I totally get it, but I don't want to do that myself. Like painting our house. I could have painted the outside of our house, but I don't want to paint the outside of our house. Like, you know how hard that would have been to just, and paint, how much paint and how much time and effort, and dude, how the professionals do it. Like, there's certain things where installing hardwood floors, there you go. Like a house is such a good example because there's so many things we could do ourselves, but we're like, yeah, no thanks. Like, I don't want to spend the next, like, you know, however many years of my life that doing it, right? So it's like, that's the thing, like those aren't my clients. The people that want to do it themselves, that know how to do it themselves, that want to figure it out, get in there, tinker around and update stuff and whatever and design it, those aren't my clients. My clients are the people that go, you know what, I have this idea, I have a dream, but I don't know how to make it happen, and I need your help to make it happen. Those are my clients, right? Because those are the people that are going to get on Squarespace or Wix or Weebly or whatever, and they're going to look around and go, oh, yeah, I don't really know what I need, so I'm just going to kind of guess. And then they're like, oh, but this doesn't really feel like me, because I don't know if I'm doing it right. You know, I don't know if, is this supposed to be on this page? Like, they have no, there's no hand holding, right? So they're kind of confused. And then that's when they come to me like, no, okay, I need a professional to tell me what I need and what I need to do. And I need someone to connect those dots, because a lot of people are like, okay, I have these ideas and this and that, but I'm not really sure how to connect the dots. You know, how do I portray myself? How do I talk to my ideal client? You know, what colors do I choose? How do I make it me? Like, a lot of people don't know that stuff. And those are my clients, right? Those are the people that cannot do it themselves or just don't know how to do it correctly for themselves that come to me, right? Oh my gosh, exactly. So that's the thing. So those are my clients, the people that want template websites, that just want to do it themselves and kind of create it themselves. They're not me, right? That's totally okay. I'm, like I said, I'm comfortable with my design hood. That template sites will never be my clients, and they might be in the future. Not to say that like in a stuck-up way, right? They're just not ready for someone to hold their hand and kind of create it for them, and that is 1000% okay. And I tell people almost always, they come to me on their third website. You know, usually the first one, they kind of just needed something, pushed it up, definitely probably a template. Number two, the second one, they might maybe have hired somebody that they knew, or like a friend or a brother or a cousin or somebody that kind of knew web design, but they weren't really in that sphere of what they do. So it's kind of professional, but not exactly all the way there. And then the third website is usually when they're like, okay, we need someone that actually gets our business, that understands, you know, our clientele and kind of how we're trying to speak, and mostly like feminine, you know, that kind of thing. Hired a friend. Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, I've heard of it so many times. Usually the second time you pay a little bit of money, and maybe that's the way with like all stuff, right? The first time you do free, second time you pay a little bit of money, but not all the way there, and third time you're like, okay, I'm paying a lot to get it right. I don't know why. I swear I hear that story, and whenever I tell the story that it's like the third website, people are like, yes, that's exactly. I was talking to someone yesterday that literally told me the story before I told her the story, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm DIY right now. Yeah, exactly. Totally. So I'm just saying, there's no point for me to be stuck up about DIY. There's no point for me to say it's not for everybody. There's no point to say, you know, that, oh, what templates are bad and Squarespace is bad and this is bad. It's not, you know, I'd be lying to you if I told you that. It's totally perfect for some people, and some people will never get to that place. Never will get to the place where they need custom design. But I don't want to sell somebody something that they don't need, right? I'm not going to be like, dude, you guys need this. Like, you have to have custom design, and be all stuck up and weird about it. It's just not true, right? If I'm being totally authentic and being totally honest, I know who needs me and who doesn't need me, and that's enough, right? I don't want people to hire me that don't need me, right? Right? Like, who wants that? So that's why I'm okay with it. That's why I made peace with templates, and I think it's fine. Just like I'll never shoot and burn. What does that mean? Shoot and burn? What does shoot and burn mean? Maybe is that a photographer thing? I don't know what that means. Shoot and burn? Do you mean like, oh, sell photos cheap? Like, oh, you mean like stock photography? Is that what you mean? Shoot and burn. That's a cool one. I kind of like it. I just need to know what it means. So yeah, so I mean, that's the thing. Like, they'll never be my clients, and at least they won't be my clients at that moment. Like, I'm never going to compete on the level of a template. I can never charge what a template charges, right? That's how big banks cater to students with no, yeah, because they know they'll have money one day. Exactly. Yeah. And of course, I'm not trying to like say, hey, well, eventually you'll be my client, because I don't even know that, right? Not everybody needs custom design. Even bigger businesses don't need it necessarily. Shoot the section and then burn the disc. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Cool. So yeah, so that is just why I'm okay with it. Sell without service. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I never, you know, this has been an ongoing issue when I've thought about for like the last 8 years I've been in business, is like, do I want to sell template sites? I could sell a lot larger volume, this and that, but you know what? It's just not me. It's just not authentic, and it's not on brand for me. It's never really been what I've been about. And so it just doesn't make sense. And plus, there's people that are doing it way better than I could. I want to be a big fish in a little pond and not a little fish in a big pond. So I'm not even going there. I'm not even touching templates, because it's just not my thing, right? I don't think I could be good at it. I can't design for no one. You know, like, it just becomes too general. Like, I design for one specific person, and that's the way that I think. I can't design for the masses. That's just not God didn't create me to do that, right? Yeah, exactly. But some people are. Some people can't design for clients. Like, a lot of people that I know of that sell pre-designed stuff, they're like, you know, I hate dealing with clients. I just want to design and sell it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like the total opposite, right? But that's why God created us differently. Some people can create design. Some people can, you know, do to the masses. Yeah, whatever works. So that is why. So just a quick recap for those who just joined. Number one, template sites and, you know, like Wix and I already forgot. Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, even template WordPress sites like Genesis or whatever, they've gotten a lot better. So number one, I can't knock them, because they're really good for a lot of people. Number two, that they might be all that a business needs, right? You might not need custom design, so there's no point in kind of, you know, just pushing something that someone doesn't need. And 3, they aren't my clients. They're ready to DIY it. They want to do it themselves. And so they don't need someone to hold their hand through it, which is my clients do need someone to hold their hand. They don't know all the answers to those things. They don't know what they need. So that is one thing. So I just saw that question pop up, going to school. Yes, I did go to school. So I have been a graphic designer for 15 years. I've been a website coder, I guess, for 20 years, for longer than I've been a professional designer. But I did go to school for art and design. I have a bachelor's degree in fine art. So, I'm sorry, in art. Bachelor's of Fine Arts in art with an emphasis in art design. So yes, I went to school for it, but you don't necessarily have to. I just did. I've been an artist my whole freaking life. You guys, if you heard my story about being an artist, you would trip out. Yes, so impressed by designers. I know, it's funny, it's weird. And I definitely think that, you know, that there are some people that do both, but you're usually heavier on one or the other. I would say I'm definitely heavier on the design side. I know an awful lot of coding because I've grown up with it, but I still think my first, you know, love is art, and I'm definitely more right-brained than I am left-brained. Whereas like my coder, the girl that does most of my coding for me, well, she does all of it. Who am I kidding? She's our coder. She's amazing, and she's way better at coding than me. But she's also a designer, and she has a degree in design. So she has, but I think she's definitely heavier on the coding side, or else she would go crazy. She's worked with us for 4 years. So going back to school for software engineering when so I don't think that you want to be both necessarily. If you have a very like numbers brain, kind of coding brain, stick with that, because it'll just be difficult for you to kind of go into the designs realm, and there's a lot of people that are just designers and don't even touch coding. So I wouldn't recommend both. Honestly, I really wouldn't, because I think that you're definitely better at one or the other. I think you can dabble. I think it's good to know. I think if you're a designer, this is a whole other topic, you guys. So I'll just wrap this up really quickly. But I think if you're a designer and you want to learn a little coding, it's good to know so that you can design for code. That's one thing that I do that a lot of people don't do. Because I know coding, I design in a totally different way that's a lot, you know, more seamless. But yeah, I only do print. Yeah, so it's a lot more seamless if you know it. But then, and conversely, you know, if you're a coder and you want to learn a little bit of design principles, I think it's awesome, because then you're going to understand spatial stuff and understand when people do, how they space things and how they, you know, balance things out. So I think it's good to learn a little bit, but I just don't know of anyone that's literally half and half. Like there's no way. Like I said, I'm probably, I don't know, I don't want to say 80-20. I want to say like maybe 60-40, 60 on design and 40 on coding, maybe a little bit less, maybe 70-30. But yeah, so calculus sucks. I took calculus in college, but never obviously used it. So all right, guys, thank you so much for coming this morning and for dealing with my Periscope issues if you made it to both Periscopes. But I actually was planning on coming back on later for like a whole planned scope, but this was just one that I was just kind of off the cuff wanting to talk about. Thank you. Thanks so much. So I don't know for sure if I'll be back now that I spent this time on this, and now I got to get back to work. You guys, we have some amazing things launching right now. Like, you guys are going to die. I can't even tell you all the amazing projects we're working on right now. They're so awesome. But I always just have to, like, check in and, like, take a little bit of break for Periscope to kind of, you know, feel like I'm talking to someone and get a break away from my eyes on the screen. But, yeah, we're doing some awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. You guys are going to die. And, yeah, oh, my gosh, we are doing some stuff with even a couple people booked from Stationery Academy and from Thrive, so that's really cool to have some clients from that. But love you guys so much. Kisses. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys later. Bye.